What is up, you guys? In today's episode, we're going to dive into how big should your workshop be and how do you know when it's time to move into the next one based on your growth. Let's dive in. All right, as always, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm super excited to have you with me today because I think that today's episode is going to give you a lot of clarity around how do I know if I'm maximizing my shop and how do I know when it's time to move into the next shop and scale up, move from the 1-car garage or the 2-car garage into an actual shop. How do I know based on my sales volume, how do I know if I'm actually operating an efficient business or I just think that it's time to move? How do I really put a formula in place to know my numbers? And so this is going to be a great episode. I think it's really going to help you on your journey. And so one of the main things that you need to understand is that bigger isn't always better depending upon your situation. All of us would love to have massive shops, right? At the height of my woodworking business, we were running out of a 6,600 square foot shop. It was huge, right? It was a big space. We could get a lot of work done out of a 6,600 square foot shop. And so for you, how do you know whether you should be moving into a new shop or you should really stay where you are for a little bit of a longer season? And then the main thing that we want to focus on during this conversation is your efficiency. Are you utilizing the square footage in the best ways possible? I'm going to give you some formulas to know if you are or you're not. And then I'm going to also give you some ways to get more efficient in this video. You need a shop that fits your workflow and your sales volume, not your ego. One of the things that we're always in the Woodworking Business Accelerator program excited about for our clients is when they make that move to the next shop. They move into a commercial space or they move into a larger commercial space or whatever. It's a big monumental moment to kind of signify growth, right? But one of the things that we always do is we're constantly checking the numbers. We're checking their sales volume to make sure that it's a wise decision, not just an ego-driven decision, right? And so I want to give you the formula for efficiency today to know, are you maximizing your shop in your current space? Okay, so here's the formula. A good benchmark for efficiency is that you're generating $20 in revenue per square foot in your shop per month. $20 per square foot per month inside of your space. So let me give you some examples here. Let's say that you're in a garage that's a 450 square foot garage. So 20 times 450 is $9,000. If you're doing less than $9,000, it's not time to move out of that space yet. If you're doing at least $9,000 a month, you should stay in that space. And if you're selling $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, you're not going to be able to sustainably stay in this 450 square foot space, okay? Now, let me give you some other examples. And I can work a little bit through my journey. So we started in a 2-car garage. At the next spot that we were at, we were in a 1,500 square foot shop that we built a house with a shop on the property. So $20 times 1,500 square feet meant that I could do about $30,000 a month out of that space. And that is really about what I got up to before it started feeling like we were bursting at the seams. So that is the number you need to be looking at in terms of sales volume. If you're in a garage, 450 square foot garage, sales volume, let's say that you're doing $9,000 a month. You're in a healthy space to be able to sell that much and generate that much in the shop each month. So with that, let me give you some benchmarks to know how successful you are or are not and how efficient you are or you are not inside of your space. So if you look at your history and you're tracking your numbers, which is one of the things that a lot of guys aren't doing, but if you track, so how much did I do last month inside of my space? How much did I manufacture? So how much did I sell? But then also how much am I manufacturing each month? Well, one of the things that we want to look at is we want to see, okay, well, if I'm working out of a garage and let's say I only got $7,000 done. So what I would do, I would say, okay, 7,000 divided by 450 square feet tells me that I only did around $15.55 in revenue per square foot last month, which tells me that I'm actually not efficient in that space, okay? So anything under $18 a square foot, you have room to improve your efficiency, okay? So anything under $18 a square foot. Now, if you're landing somewhere between $18 and $22 a square foot each month in your space, I would say that you're at a very healthy range. Like that's, you should always try to improve it, but you're hitting KPI, you're hitting your benchmark, okay? Now, if you're doing more than $22 a square foot, you're highly efficient in your space. You've really maximized that space. You've developed rhythms and systems to get more done. Now, the one thing I will say here is this is based on a pretty standard 40 hours per week, okay? So if you're not working 40 hours a week, it's hard for you to say like, this is or this isn't a good number. But if this is based on 40 hours a week of labor, okay, so if you're working part-time and this is a side hustle for you, you need to kind of calculate it as though you were working 40 hours a week. So like if you're only getting $5,000 done a month, but you're only working 15 hours a week, well, you need to divide that by 15, multiply that by 40 to figure out what it would have been had you been working 40 hours, right? So these are important things to factor in. Now, if you're working 80 hours a week, you should be getting more done, right? And so it's important to gauge how much time am I allocating and how big is my space. Now, a couple things I want to give you that can really help you optimize your space. Now, one of the main things that you can do is if you carry any lumber, so right, if you have inventory in lumber, you need to get that off the floor and you need to get that on the wall or get it outside in a covered area. So one of the biggest space suckers is having lumber on the floor. It really eats up a lot of square footage. And so you need to either have racks inside on the wall, or you need to put this outside under a lean-to, tarp it, or do something so that you are getting that space back. Okay, another thing that is super, super important if you're trying to work with a smaller space is you want to have everything on wheels. You want to have your table saw on wheels, you want to have your planer on wheels, you want to have your workbenches on wheels, and you want to be able to have those wheels lock whenever you want to lock down the workpiece, the workbench, right? And so by having things on wheels, like let's say that you're working out of a garage, you can wheel things in and out of the garage and you can move and reconfigure your space on a frequent basis, okay? Another thing I'll just say, like if you're working out of a garage, is you don't want your work tables to be too big. Instead of building one large workbench or work table, you might want to build two smaller ones that you could put side by side, or you could break them up. This is going to, again, allow you to build your space in a more modular fashion, and it's going to allow you to really optimize the space better. So before you expand, here's some things to consider. Will more space increase my productivity or just my overhead? If you are in a position where you are not maximizing your current efficiency levels, so if you're doing less than $18 per 40 hours a week, per month, per square foot inside of your garage, you need to fix that first. This is one of the things that I always really harp on inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program is we don't want to scale inefficiencies. We want to fix inefficiencies and then scale efficient systems, okay? So this is one of the main things that I would encourage you with is we don't want to scale until we're really efficient in the space that we're in. Then we want to have a clear path to scale, okay? The other thing that you need to consider when you move into a commercial space, you're going to have insurance costs, you're going to have heating and cooling costs, you're going to have a dumpster, internet. There's a lot of other expenses that you have to factor in: electricity, water, all those things, okay? And so when it comes to how do I know, Zach, if I'm ready to move into another space, are you outselling your ability to produce in your current space month after month after month? If you do it and you prove yourself 2 to 3 to 4 months in a row, let's say that you can only build $10,000 to $15,000 per month out of your current space, but you're consistently selling $15,000 to $20,000 per month every single month for a 3 to 4 month span of time. You probably need to start thinking about making that jump into the next space or finding more ways to maximize your current space. So a couple examples here: hire a part-time or full-time employee, work a second shift, right? So you work in the mornings, or you work 8 to 5 and then you have somebody come and work 5 to 10, right? There's 1,000 different ways to skin this cat, so to speak. And so you need to be thinking about ways to get more efficient and what are the metrics I need to be looking at. And the main one needs to be profitability per square foot per month. Okay, so with that, hopefully this video is helpful to you. If you have any other thoughts, considerations, questions about this, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And if you're trying to scale your business actively, move out of the garage into the next commercial space, I would highly encourage you to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. We're currently working with about 50 people all across North America and helping them scale their business in a really powerful and predictable way. And so with that, hope this video was helpful. If it was, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.